Sometimes when it comes to being trans, because you're talking about life, it always ends up being really important to tackle those really big questions, those questions that you can't necessarily answer. So you have to do it now and again and again and again. And during a lot of times, that's actually not only a good thing, but the best thing you can do. And especially here on Trans Youth Channel. So this week, we are answering a question that has been asked several times, should be asked several more times, and time again, people who have not gone through transition look for this very question to be answered every time they go through it. Here on Trans Youth, we've tackled it twice, and it's still a very big, very great question with still a lot of advice that can go through. What is life like after transition? What changes? What is so good about transition that makes your life before transition so much better now that you've gone through it? This is obviously a really big question, one that I do want to take seriously, and one that I honestly have a different answer for every time I think about it. So before we can really go over that, I want to talk about what I was before transition. Before transition, I was a guy. I basically sat there and did nothing. I didn't really go through a puberty, so I wasn't attracted to anyone because I had issues on my own that I needed to deal with. As a guy, I was robotic. As a guy, I hadn't really matured. I hadn't really gone through anything that I, as a guy, should have. I was still that little kid. I was still 12 years old emotionally, and I didn't want to handle anything. Analytically, however, I grew tenfold. And the reason was because the analytical portion, what is life? What does life do? That was my mainstay. That was my lifeline. Just talking about philosophy, talking about how my life should be better. And this was my obsession. So what did my mind do? I didn't think about emotions. I didn't think about other people. I thought about the situation and what is best for it. I kept my mouth shut. I was very robotic. I didn't really have very many emotions that I really registered. I did have emotions, but I didn't tackle them. And instead, I would sit in my room alone and wallow in a very depressed manner. I was very different than I am now. Now I'm charismatic. Now I'm energetic. Now I'm happy. And that was what transition was for me. Transition was my way of making myself live. Because now I am much more useful. Now I am much more inquisitive. Now I am much more interactive with my world. I have grown. And a lot of people, every time they look at me, do say that the trans person goes through 2 puberties. But I only really went through 1. And it was with the help of HRT. So when I look back on my life before then and now, I still have problems. I mean, I have a wealth of problems, and it's all perfectly fine and okay because I'm tackling them in a different way than I did before. Before, I would sit and I would wallow. Now, I cry. Now, I sit on someone's shoulders. And yes, I do still have some problems and coping mechanisms. Yes, my transition in and of itself is an issue that I live with in my daily life. But yes, it is something that is helping me live. I'm not robotic. I am emotional. I am human. And I love what I'm doing. I love my environment. I love who I am and respect that environment. And I love the people that I meet. And this is the new part about transition. Transition allowed me to care about my life. Now, a lot of you may think that this is a little bit overdoing it, especially if you haven't gone through transition, but this is me being completely serious right now. This is me. This is not advocate me. This is not trans youth leader me. This is me, the person, Samantha. I love my life despite all of the problems I'm going through, despite all of my complications, despite everything. I love myself 1,000 times more than I did back then. And even with all the troubling things that's going through right now in my personal life, I would never give this up. I am a woman and I love it. I have a beautiful partner and I love her. I have the world at my fingertips. And before transition, before I was able to be myself, I didn't care if the world was in my arms. Now it's at my fingertips. So yes, this is me, this is serious, this is my current answer to what is life like after transition. It is wonderful. It will be different for everyone. And this is just me being completely sincere. There may not be very much content to this video, there may not be a table of contents like I usually do, but this is me, almost about to cry, incredibly happy, about what I've been looking forward to over the past week, the past several years, and the past months, all of the troubles that I've been going to in my personal life. All of it is completely and utterly worth it. Life is hard, but I'm living it, and I'm living it happily. Life was given to me before. This time, I'm taking it. This time, I'm me, and this time, I'm experiencing it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little bit on the emotional side for me right now. I'm going through a little bit, but at the same time, I'm really happy to be here. I'm really happy to have trans youth as my sanity point, and I'm really happy to have an entire week of opinions that all of you people can learn from if you've gone through transition, if you don't plan to, and if you're in transition on your own, if you're thinking about it. This week is a great week to watch. A week where we talk about the benefits of transition, not in a, oh, you go on HRT and that's a really great type of manner, but in a personal, spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical manner. What are the advantages? Thanks for watching Trans Youth Channel, and I know it's a little bit off topic, but one announcement here. We want a female to male to give the world their opinions. We want the female to male portion of the trans spectrum to be here. We have a transgendered individual who's not a transsexual. We have a person who's older than the age of 26. Now we need another perspective. We need another person. And along with that, we are also introducing one other individual here this week. So you will be seeing them on their designated day. I'll just leave it a surprise for now. Thanks, guys. Bye.